Well, we've been doing Let's Go Help now for about a year or more now. And what is great is to see how people really use it. And that's what's so nice. When I used to sell books, I never knew how they used it. Once in a while, I get something. But now, it's wonderful to hear success stories and how people used it. And actually, we got about 200 of them. So if you remember, you could see them all. We got two separate, we ran out of room in one of the testimonial uh, guides. And so we had to put up another one. But here's one we just got from Andrea, who's a member up in New York. And boy, it is just beyond whatever I imagine. I mean, she received over $40,000 last year because her there over $40,000 worth of grants and free services just in one year. She's been here and doing this work, and her life really just took a dive and everything. And she was in financial trouble. Smart lady, really talented. Yep. And here's what she had to do. She never did anything like this before. She had to learn it from scratch. So let me read the letter she sent to us. I want to shout out from the rooftops how amazing Matt Lesko is. Thanks to his advice to pursue grants, I've gotten over $40,000 worth of grants and free services over the past year. And it's actually so much more than that because of the enormous value of the free services I got through the grants. For the total value of the free services I received, it is very conservative in my estimates. $10,000 worth of a year's worth of free legal advice, $8,000 a year's worth of free business consultation, free business plan assistance, free membership to private and social media groups, and that was all for free. That was given by the government. I'm basing my numbers on average cost to the consumer. For example, to hire an attorney would be about $150 to $200 an hour. Now, here's a breakdown of what we have received. $1,800 from Catholic Charities, $250 from Catholic Charities. I guess that's another one or another, but $500 from the local housing organization, $250 in gift certificates for Shop and Stop Grocery, 10 months of free business consultation, 12 months of social media management, 12 months of free legal advice from Just Shelter. That's because they were losing their place to live. Got $6,000 grant worth of rental assistance and $15,000 of pandemic assistance. So that's $40,000. I mean, that's wow. I didn't know you could do that. As you mentioned, I had to go through many phone calls to the Emergency Rental Assistance Program and waited for a long time, but it was worth it. The first time I applied to the emergency assistance back in July, I had just paid my rent. I was hoping that the program would cover future rent. But several weeks after I called to check on my status, I was told the application would not likely be approved because I did not own any back rent. I contacted my attorney, that's the free one, and found through the recommendation of Just Shelter. Okay, so that's a nonprofit that gets you free legal help for anything to do with your housing, and was given legal advice to apply again owing rent. I applied to the program owing August rent and requested next 3 months, September, October, November, towards future rent. See, she was able to get that legal advice for free and learn to use the system and get it in. You know, there's always a way. That's why you just can't take something for granted. When somebody says you can't, well, then you got to work harder and to see, well, maybe you can. I recently called Emergency Rental Assistance Program hotline and learned that on 10/7, they sent the landlord a check for $6,200. The representative claimed that the $6,200 check covers many arrears and future rent until January 1. My son and I can breathe again. Wow, Matthew, you have helped us so much. I can't even begin to thank you for your brilliant advice to apply, apply, apply. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Andrea and Paul and more. Hubby and Angel too. I think he just passed away this past year. Sad. Here's our letter underneath, maybe. Dearest Matthew, you are truly one of the greatest blessings in the world. Oh, this is why I want to read it. You say some nice things about me. I make fun of it because I don't know what else to say. Sorry. Where I recently received news that my application for emergency rental assistance program was approved for $6,200. I'm so grateful to you for all your advice and that protected my family and I from being evicted last year. Wow. You literally changed my life by introducing me to grants. When COVID hit, my income dropped over 80%. By July of last year, my husband and I were in debt to our landlord, owing about $10,000 in back rent. What a blessing to have found you. And I saw your first YouTube video. I was convinced of your expertise and kindness. The first thing I did was to apply to pandemic unemployment. It was very easy, and I was really it wasn't easy, and I was really frustrating, but I kept going. At the same time, I followed your suggestion to contact my local representative. After a few disappointments with the responses, I politely persisted making phone calls. It was my senator that opened the doors for me. Once I started getting grants, everything changed. See, I mean, call didn't work. That's what life is, yeah. And unfortunately, we get, I think, stuff in our head from salesmen and say, "Oh, it's easy. You just have to do this." No, it's not easy. It's extra work. It may not be easy. Unfortunately, my husband Angel died suddenly this past April, but the attorney that I found through Just Shelter was continued to provide me with free legal advice for over the past year. Our brilliant lawyer negotiated with the landlord, and we signed an agreement voiding out the remaining debt of $2,800. Having that kind of outstanding free legal service is priceless. I am sure that the value of our lawyer's legal advice is well over $10,000, not what I mentioned as $2,800. That said, by following your advice so far, the value of $15,000 unemployment is probably over $40,000 worth of grants and free services since November. Wow. So that's what's sitting out there for people. And you see, it does take work. I mean, you're just not going to, fill out a form. I'll go to this website, fill out a form. No, it's not going to happen that way. Now, we may get lucky that a lot of people, they're the people I used to put in the infomercials, those that got real easy, because that's what people want to see. But the reality is it's not easy. The reality is that you're going to have to put some backbone into this to make sure it happens. Now, it could be easy, so I don't want to discourage you. If it's easy, you're going to quit. No, this is too easy. I'm not going to do this. No, let's go say this was hard. I want to do hard. I never know what goes in people's minds. I mean, that's kind of crazy stuff goes in my mind, tell you the truth. but the point is, these are services and help that really could help you, help the average people that are in trouble, financial trouble. I mean, my guess is like half the country can't afford what they're doing. That's half the country. The other half has so much money they don't know what the hell to do with. So I'm not worried about them. I think we have to concentrate on the people that need help and get them stronger in life and realize that we live in this country that everybody, see, a fat cat would know all these things. This is how I started working for this stuff. I used to work for millionaires and Fortune 500 companies, getting them all this stuff. They didn't even need it. They got boring to work for. All they cared about was getting more money. And this is so meaningful to people who don't have money. It's just extra pocket change for them. They don't need it, but people do. And they're the people I'm trying to help. And that's why now with our group, it not only am I helping, but the other members help. See, I like Andrea, boy, she's helping by sharing her experience like this. Instead of just listening to some huckster like me promising you this, no. There's Andrea, boots on the ground lady. Now she's a single mom, has to put it all together. She lost 80% of her income last year and was able to do this and learn it from nothing. She never called a bureaucrat in her life. She learned how, and that's why the need makes you do it. You'd be surprised what you can do when you have to. That's what I'm trying to do. Give you the nudge, give you the sources, give you a little help and see. And the other members do that too now. And now we're getting a nice critical mass that they're doing it more and more. So I don't know how much longer I have around this planet. And they could keep helping you forever.